Hello, this is lecture 3 of our course, Complete Blockchain Technologies. In this lecture, we will cover the different types of blockchain networks. So, there are a total of 4 different types of blockchain networks. The main broad category is the public and private network. We have the public network and the private network, but there are more subtypes. The one is the hybrid blockchain network, and the other is Consortium Blockchain network. Consortium Blockchain network has more similarity like a private blockchain network, while the hybrid blockchain network has partial similarity like public blockchain network and partial similarity like a private blockchain network. So it is an intersection of the features of both public and private blockchain network. If we say in a simple word that the public blockchain network is a network where anyone who has internet access can join and make transaction on that public blockchain network. So it is a permissionless network. In public blockchain network, every peer has a copy of the ledger, so it can easily make a transaction through any peer can easily make a transaction. The public blockchain network, we can say the benefit of the public blockchain network is that it is more secure. How it is more secure? If you look into the public blockchain network infrastructure, any node, any user can come and join this public blockchain network. So the size of the public blockchain network grows, and whenever some hacker has to attack on this network, then he has to hack more nodes, because the number of nodes are high in the public blockchain network and each node has the ledger copy. So it is very difficult for the hacker to hack many nodes of the network. So the hacking is quite difficult, so it is more secure. The second benefit of the public blockchain network is that it is more transparent. Since each node has a copy of the ledger, so every node can validate and authenticate the transaction details, so it is more transparent. The disadvantage of the public blockchain network is that it is very slow. Since the network size is large, so the proof of work, like there is no authentication procedure, is permissionless, but there is a proof of work procedure, and each device has to make the proof of work procedure, which is computationally expensive, so it takes a lot of time. So the network size is also large, so it is slow. The public blockchain network can be used for fundraising, it can be used in the voting process. Private blockchain network, it is restricted, and it is small in size, and it is controlled by a single identity. So every user need authentication procedure, every user needs some permission procedure to join this network, and it is decentralized from the public blockchain network. Private blockchain network is mostly owned by business organizations, and the benefit of this private blockchain network is that the speed of the computational or the transaction speed is very high because there are less number of nodes. Therefore, the speed is quite high compared to the public blockchain network. The disadvantage of the private blockchain network is that it is less secure because the number of nodes are less, so the ledger copy is distributed among a small group of nodes, so it is less secure. Private blockchain networks are used in supply chain management, private voting within the organization. It is also used in the asset ownership. The private blockchain network and the public blockchain network, which is the size of public blockchain network is large and is permissionless, anyone can join it, and is more secure, while the private blockchain network has less number of nodes, less secure, and every node require permission to join, so it is decentralized from the public. And there is another public blockchain network which is known as hybrid blockchain network. It is some features like public blockchain network and some features like hybrid like private blockchain network. So hybrid blockchain network enables the network to adopt the properties of public blockchain network and the private blockchain network, and the entity or the nodes among the hybrid blockchain network are allowed to choose among the public transactions and the private network transactions. So in the hybrid blockchain network, the transaction details are not made public, but through smart contract the information can be provided. The disadvantage of the hybrid blockchain network is that it is not very flexible for to be updated because it contains features of the public and both the private blockchain network, so it is very difficult for it to be updated. Hybrid blockchain network is also less transparent because it contains some features of the public and some of the private, so some information are hidden from the public agents, so it is not very transparent. It is less transparent compared to public blockchain network. Hybrid blockchain network are mostly liked by the real estate organization, so they can share their transaction details, so it is most liked by the real estate owners. The fourth type of network is consortium, which is controlled by a group. Private network is controlled by a single identity, central identity, but the consortium network is controlled by a group. Consortium blockchain network are considered more secure than the public blockchain network, and it is more transparent compared to private network. This is another figure which defines the difference between all four types of blockchain network. So the first one is on the basis of permission and permissionlessness. All four networks have been classified. The public blockchain network, as you already know, it is permissionless. Anyone can join this network. It is a decentralized network. No single identity control this network. Any user can come and join this network. The size of public blockchain network is very large. Compared to that, private network is small in size, and every entity requires some permissions to join this network. It is controlled by a central authority or central entity. It is more like a centralized network, Another network which is a hybrid network, it has properties of permissioned and permissionlessness both. Consortium network is also permissioned network. Another feature which classify all these four networks is the control. So the public network is not controlled by any central authority, while the private is controlled by the central authority. The hybrid network is also controlled by a central authority. Consortium network is controlled by multiple central authorities. So look at this figure. Hybrid network is controlled by central authority, private is controlled by single central authority, while the consortium is controlled by multiple central authorities, while the public is not controlled by any central authority. The advantage of the public blockchain network is it is very transparent, because all the network node contain the ledgers, so it is very transparent and it is independent. Any user can join, any user can make transaction. The advantage of the private network is that of its performance, because the speed of the transaction is quite fast, and it is scalability. The hybrid network has a good performance, but it has a very low cost, while the consortium network has a better performance and it is more secure. The disadvantage is the public network has a poor performance and it has a scalability issue. The private network are less secure, because the ledger is shared by a very less number of nodes, so a hacker can come and hack a few set of nodes, and this way it is less secure and less trusted, because the security problem, because of security issue, because of the hacking issue, it is less trusted. The hybrid network is also less transparent and it is very difficult to be upgraded. Consortium network has also a transparency issue. The example of the public blockchain network are Bitcoins and Litecoins. The example of a private blockchain network is Hyperledger and Fabric. The hybrid blockchain network example are XRP token, and example of consortium network are Corda, Corium.